This is docket 3045 WR 102, the application of the Village of Lannon for authority to adjust water rates. This is Michael Newmark, the Administrative Law Judge for the PSC. We're on Zoom and we have the Utility Commission staff and members of the public in attendance. So thank everyone for joining us here. Like I mentioned offline, we are going to be taking evidence from the parties and commission staff, including comments from those two. And at the end, we will receive comments from members of the public. We're also taking comments in writing, public comments in writing. Those are due Friday, August 25th. And they can be filed either through the commission's website or by US mail. And the details for doing that are on our notice of hearing, which is posted on the commission's website and also displayed here on the screen share. So it'll be on the Zoom YouTube live stream recording available to the public that way. So far, no public comments on file, but there's still that opportunity to do that. All right, well, let's get started. I'm going to turn off. Well, I'm going to switch the view here to our list of documents. So just bear with me for a second here. It's a long list, longer than usual. So I'm going to make some adjustments. Hopefully this will be visible. But parties, commission staff sent this email to the utility. So you should have that available. But what we'd like to do first is have these documents that we've listed here verified by a witness under oath. And we could split this up to different witnesses who are competent to verify the different types of documents. And that's part of the process here. So we're first going to have utility verify the documents, and then we'll take comments from the utility, and then same process for commission staff. And all these documents that we verify and admit into the record, as well as the recording, will be forwarded to the decision maker in the case. And that's Andy Galvin, the administrator of the Division of Water Utility Regulation and Analysis. So based on the documentation, Administrator Galvin will make a decision on the case. So we're just collecting that information right now, making it official. So let's start with the utilities documents. First off is the customer notice. The rest of them are more technical in subject. I guess there's also the ordinance documents, which may be kind of similar to the customer notice, but we'll ask for whoever can verify the notice first, and then we can go through the list and see what other documents may be possible for that person. So who do we have that can verify the customer notice?
I can.
All right, great. So let me swear you in first. Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, and state your name for the record.
Brenda Clemmer.
All right. So you're clerk treasurer, is that right?
Correct.
Okay, so customer notice, I saw that document. So is that document that's on file here complete and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Okay, and just want to make sure, can you see the list on the screen share?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, yeah. And I don't think I mentioned on the document, but how is that distributed to customers? Do you recall?
That was put on the website, posted on all of our sites, and SMS text notice went out too.
Okay,
and it was published.
Published in what way?
Menominee Falls Now publication newspaper, 2 weeks. I believe it was the first 2 weeks in August.
Okay. And so there's the rest of the documents here. It may be more appropriate for you to verify those, like the impact fee and the ordinance. So like numbers 16, 17, 18, 19. Oh, I'm sorry, 16, 17, 18. Those are documents from the village, like official documents. Did you feel comfortable verifying those?
Yes.
Okay, so are those complete and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
And then I think maybe, is there the ordinance resolution for attachment 16? Is that a village document? Let me just-
Resolution to support this.
Yeah, that's the ordinance. I don't think that's actually a. Oh, yeah, that's a. Yeah, well, looks like you
Yes.
signed it.
I did.
So is that document completed correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
All right, okay, and that might be all of those official documents. Okay. This is. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's, so, so I think it may be more appropriate to have your consultant verify the more technical documents. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So, let me just ask you, do you have any comments you'd like to make?
I don't.
No? All right. So let's have the rest of the documents verified. Who from, the consultant can do that for us? So it's, oops.
Hey, Judge Newmark, this is
Okay.
Alex.
ahead.
Is Jody Dobson in the waiting room? She
Oh,
just
yeah,
emailed me.
she is, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. So there's a number of people listed as consultants, but okay, Jody's. Yeah, she's waiting here.
thank you.
No, thank you. We just sat here with a lot of silence too. All right, she's just connecting up here. Okay. Okay, we see you there, Jody. I'm gonna unmute you. I can do that from here. Okay. So we've gotten through verification of the utilities customer notice and some of the documents that the utility was involved, the official village documents. So and can you see the list of documents on your screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so we're looking at, so we've already verified numbers 1, 16, 17, and 18. And we're gonna now work on the more technical documents. So we're passing that on to you guys, the consultants. So let me swear you in. Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, state your name for the record.
Jody Dobson.
All right, and let me ask you if you could verify the remaining documents. Like I mentioned, we already verified 1, 16, 17, and 18. So are all the rest of the documents complete and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, they are.
Okay, and do you have any comments?
Not at this time.
All right. So now ask anyone else in attendance wish to make a comment on behalf of the utility. Nobody. Okay. All right. So move on to commission staff. Start with revenue requirement. Kathleen Butzloff, there you are. Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Oh, I got it. There you go. I unmuted you.
Okay, I'll try that again. I
Yeah.
do.
Okay, great. And can you confirm that the revenue requirement revised is complete and correct to the best of your knowledge?
I can, but I do have some other information that I would like to make for the record.
Okay, I just wanted to ask quickly before you do that. So the utility did accept the staff's rate design. Oh, cost service and rate design. Okay. Did they accept the revenue requirement? I just want to make sure they accepted the revised version, if that's true. I don't know if I see that on the list here. Oh, well, they're in agreement with the proposed rates. And that was July 20th. So. I don't know if,
They, Judge Newmark, they filed a letter on July 7th.
choice. Okay, so that would include the revisions or no?
Yes.
They did, okay, all right, just want to make sure. Okay, great, so go ahead with your comment.
Okay, I have several things, and first I would just like to give a brief background for anybody else who was listening. The utility was required to file this rate case. It was a fairly small utility with less than 150 customers 5 years ago. And the utility was undertaking multi-million-dollar project to install water mains and extend service throughout more of the village. There was a combination of funding used for that. And typically when there's such a large project and changes at a utility, it could result in a very large rate increase. So there was definitely analysis done on this, but as it's shown in Alex Hanna's exhibit, he summarized this, and for the test year, there are now 452 estimated customers. So along with the large increase in plant assets and the large increase in operating costs, there's a large increase in customers to offset it. So that is why the proposed rate increase is fairly small. But at the same time, if you look through Alex's exhibit, you'll see that there's some restructuring of rates such as meter charges, volume charges, and public fire protection charges to better match the mix of customers right now. With that background being said, there were several specific things in the revenue requirement exhibit that were requested of the utility. And some of these things were being filed in the last few days before the hearing. So that's why I'm going over them verbally now, instead of any written documentation. So the first thing I would like to mention is on page 3 of the revenue requirement exhibit. Commission staff had requested that the utility make multiple accounting and reporting revisions. The utility did make those revisions and filed an amended PSC annual report on July 24th. So that is taken care of. We can check that off. Another thing in this cover letter that was requested of the utility is that they file an update on some project costs related to the well they acquired and upgraded. And the utility filed that report on Monday, the 21st, under the construction docket. So if the commission has any additional comments, the water engineers will reach out. So that has been fulfilled as well. The third item, and you're on the correct page there, would be order point number 8 from that construction docket that requested the utility file certain non-revenue water reports. The utility filed the required reports on Monday, August 21st, but I would recommend to the commission that the utility continue to monitor and file these types of reports for the next 2 to 3 years at least. At that time, we also recommend the utility file another rate case. So I would recommend that this order point continues. And then the last 2 items in this exhibit relate to the direct charges for public fire protection. And I believe that is addressed on page 5. So the utility was directed both to make sure it was now billing properties that did not receive water service for public fire protection as required by its tariff, and issue back bills for those properties that had not been properly billed. The utility filed a letter regarding these public fire protection charges, both the current charges and back bills, on August 17th. And that is on IRF. And in the letter, the utility indicated that it planned to bill the properties and issue the back bills very soon. My understanding is by the end of August, this would be completed. If you need an exact date, perhaps someone from the village can provide this. But what I would request is I wonder if we could have a delayed exhibit at the end of the month from the utility confirming it had completed these two items, both the back bills and the current bills for public fire protection. And then this issue would be cleaned up as well. So Judge Newmark, that's all my comments. I don't know if you have any questions for the village on the exact timing of the public fire protection billing, and if you're willing to consider a delayed exhibit. Thank you.
Okay, great. Yeah, thanks. Well, yeah, that sounds fine. We want to get as much information as we can. I don't know who can speak for the utility on this issue, but if there's a date we can expect a response with the PFP information.
I will be sending that out probably next week. By the end of next week, those back bills will go out before the end of the month. So the last date is fine of August.
Okay, and so Kathleen, just what information do you want to see in that exhibit?
Well, I don't want there to be any problem with confidential information being filed. So just if there was a confirmation of what date they were issued and how many bills were issued,
Okay.
I think that would be adequate to satisfy it. And then kind of the other half of the equation, what date the current bills went out to customers for the customers to receive the current bill for it.
Okay, and do you need like the total amount or?
If it's easily available that Brenda could provide that would be great too. Like I said, I just don't want to get an individual listing and have any confidential information in the record. So number of bills, grand total, something like that would be confirmation enough.
Okay.
So as long as it's not a personal identifiable information, it doesn't need to be confidential, and the utility could file it under a confidential handling request. But if you don't need that information, that's fine. You don't need.
I don't need that detail.
Okay. So if you could just file that under the exhibit offered document type on IRF. You don't really need to do any fancy name or anything, just whatever makes sense to you. We'll know what to look for, and we can put that in the record as well.
Okay.
Okay, am I missing anything? Did that satisfy what you're asking for, Kathleen?
Just as long as it addresses both the back bills and the current bills, then that'll satisfy everything that commission staff needs.
Okay, all right. Okay, great. So anything else, Witness Bootsloff? Do we have any other issues, or are we done?
Nope, that was a rundown of the issues that were, being handled just within this past week.
Okay, and I'm just curious, we do have a number of documents that are listed from the utility. The ones that you were mentioning were filed close to the date of the hearing. Are they on this list too?
Yes, they are. They are the last two: public fire protection billing summary and non-revenue water report. And then the other document I mentioned was actually filed under the construction docket because it pertains to the construction docket.
Okay. All right, great, thanks. Okay, so we'll move on then to cost, service study, and rate design. So Alex Hanna will take that from you. Do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, can you confirm that the cost, service study, and rate design exhibit is complete and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, it is.
All right, thanks. Any comments?
I have no comments at this time.
Okay, great. All right, well, that's the evidence from the party and commission staff. So we can take public comments now. Looks like there may be 3 members of the public in attendance. So Kim, if you're listening, Brizendine, I believe.
No comments.
No
I was
comments?
just
All
listening
right.
today.
Okay, great. Well, thanks for joining us. We also have Mike Grimm. If you're a member of the public, we can take your comment now. No. I'll give you a chance to unmute. And we also have Carly, who joined us not too long ago. So this is the Village of Lannon water rate case. If you have a comment as a member of the public, we can take that now. No, all right. Well, there's an opportunity still to file a comment in writing. Just so you know, that's going to be, that comment period will be closing at the end of Friday, October 25th. I'm sorry, not October. Getting ahead of myself here. August 25th. August 25th, the deadline to file written comments. That can be done through the commission's website on our public comment page or filed with us by US mail. So the details on how to do that is on our notice of hearing. So there's no other comments. I think we have everything we need here. We'll forward the record to Andy Galvin, the administrator, and we'll expect an order in the near future. So thanks very much. Take care, everybody.